our latest single, The Power of Love.
Coming to you from a basement studio somewhere down under, it's the 80s Show with Australia's Retro Man. On tonight's show, Retro Man takes a look at the great movie song The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. Well, what are we waiting for? Lights, camera, Retro Man! G'day viewers, Retro Man here, and welcome to the 80s Show. Now today I'll be kicking off a new segment called Great Movie Songs. It's where I pluck a song out of the air, an 80s song from a great movie, and tell you all about it. So let's get straight to it. Today's great movie song is the track The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News from the Back to the Future soundtrack. It is a fantastic song with a real driving beat. It's quite uplifting. Huey Lewis's vocals are fantastic, and this is a song that everyone, I'm sure, remembers, just like the film. The film has timeless appeal. Now, I've been to retro screenings in all sorts of places for the Back to the Future film over the years, and they always seem to set the atmosphere right. You walk into a screening in the foyer of the theatre, and you will hear The Power of Love playing. In fact, I've been to retro screenings where they've had set up over at the side a mic and a DJ gear, and someone's out there and they're performing Power of Love on karaoke. It's just one of those songs, timeless appeal, just like the movie. In fact, the funny thing is about Back to the Future, so many people love it that aren't even interested in movies. I was talking to a guy one night and he said to me, well, I could never really get into movies. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, but I tell you one movie that I watch whenever it turns up on TV, it's Back to the Future. I stop what I'm doing and I just happen to watch it. And I thought to myself, well, that shows you right there just how appealing Back to the Future is. Now, to tell you a bit about the song The Power of Love by Huey Lewis, well, this is how it all came about. The director, Robert Zemeckis, he was thinking, well, look, we've got this character called Marty McFly, and he's a teenager in 1985, and who are the hottest band in the world at that moment? And of course, it was Huey Lewis and the News. So they thought, okay, Marty's favourite band is Huey Lewis and the News. So they wrote that into the script, and they thought, well, who better than to sing the theme song of the movie? So director Robert Zemeckis called up Huey Lewis and said, I'd love to have you do the theme song for Back to the Future. And he's like, what's the title of the film? And Back to the Future. Well, I'm not sure I really want to sing a song called Back to the Future, so I don't know. But I tell you what, how about if I come up with a song, the next thing that we just happen to be working on, and I send it your way and you roll with that? Are you happy with that? And Zemeckis and Spielberg and producer Bob Gale, and they said, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. And then all of a sudden Huey Lewis came back to them with this song called The Power of Love. And the song really has no meaning on the overall plot line of the film, but it fits in so well. And of course, I'm sure you know Back to the Future. And when do you hear The Power of Love? It's the first time that we see Marty McFly on his skateboard travelling to school, and he's, on the board and he's holding onto the back of cars and so forth. And we've got that pumping sound of Huey Lewis's Power of Love on the soundtrack, and it really takes the scene to another level. That's why it's a great movie song. And also a little bit later on in the film, you've got Marty there trying to get involved in the battle of the bands at the high school, trying to win a spot, and he's playing a rock version of The Power of Love on guitar. It's a highly memorable moment, and who better to have judged this thing than Huey Lewis himself, who has a cameo in the film, and he's watching this transpire, and he just picks up the megaphone and says, "You're just too darn loud." And it was just so funny. Huey had glasses on at the time, and it's a great cameo. And Huey Lewis is synonymous with the film. Obviously, he did the song, and he's in the film, and whenever you hear the name Huey Lewis, you go, wow, Back to the Future. and it all comes together nicely. In fact, I'll tell you something else about the power of love. I was commuting one day for, say, 2.5 hours with a friend of mine. We decided to, he's a collector guy, we decided to go into the city to have a look at music and movies and check out a few shops. And we were wondering what music we should be listening to on our commute. And we decided, he said to me actually, how about you choose what we listen to? It's your vehicle, you choose. And I said, okay, well, let's listen to a little Huey Lewis. And then the next thing was, well, what are we going to listen to first? And I said, well, The Power of Love, of course. And it was like, okay, let's put it on. And then after that, it didn't matter what came on. There was just so many songs in the Huey Lewis repertoire. But Power of Love set the tone for that car ride for 2.5 hours, and it was just perfect. After that, it was just one Huey Lewis track after the next, and it was an enjoyable time. But like I said in an earlier episode, I did a Huey Lewis Rock Palast 84 show, and I said that his music just gets people together and makes them feel good. It has that really pumping sound where you actually sometimes want to get up and dance, and you just feel good about things. And Power of Love is such an uplifting song that it went to #1 in so many places around the world. And of course, it was not overlooked at the Academy Awards. It was actually nominated for Best Song. It didn't win. Okay, it did not win. It should have won, really. But Lionel Richie sort of snuck in with the track Say You, Say Me from the movie White Nights. A bit of a ballad there. But the Huey Lewis song is even more memorable than that. It has timeless appeal. And Back to the Future is a fantastic film. And this song just lives on. And I tell you what, if I want to get into a good mood, I play a little Power of Love.
Power of love is a curious thing.
So now it's over to you guys. Are you a fan of the Power of Love? Share your thoughts and feelings and memories in the comments below. It's a timeless track with vintage appeal. So I tell you what, who remembers the music video? I do. The music video even had the doc in it. It was filmed at a place called Uncle Charlie's, this dark, dingy little night spot. And Huey Lewis kind of decided on that spot for the music video because he had a lot of memories. He'd played at Uncle Charlie's a lot over the years when the band was first starting out. So that became the location of the Power of Love music video. It's not actually the best looking music video because it's sort of filmed in this dark and dingy little night spot, but it certainly has that smoky atmosphere of a nightclub. And having the dock there and the DeLorean is the icing on the cake. So not only the song, but the music video is an absolute winner. The Power of Love from 1985, guys. Wow, what a blast.
You feel the power of love.
So that is today's great movie song, Huey Lewis and the Power of Love from the 1985 blockbuster, Back to the Future. Thanks for watching the show, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is Retro Man, living the dream, 80s style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang and cooler than Huey Lewis on stage wearing a tank top. Now that's cool. Please subscribe and good night, viewers.